students, this is Rudra sir here, back with one of your English 1 classes for ICSE. As you can see, today's topic is ICSE essay writing. So today we are going to discuss essay writing. Many of you have problems with it, many of you have doubts with it. So let's go ahead and see what it has. Okay, first is essay writing. As you know, you have 20 marks, this is full marks. Word limit of 400 word limit. So now first let's discuss word limit. Now 400 means it comes to round about as per your examination papers, that is as per your icse papers, on an average handwriting it would come to round about 2.5 to 3 pages max. Now 2.5 is enough. If you are writing a story and you feel like the ending is not yet inside, you need a few more lines to complete, then you can move to 3. Otherwise 2.5 would be the ideal option. Now mind you, this is for the limit which I am speaking of is for your ICSE papers, the papers, examination papers of ICSE. I am talking of that, not of regular different sized exercise books. I am not talking of that. I'm talking of the exam papers of ICSE. As per that, it is required 2.5 pages on an average kind of handwriting. Now mind you, if your letter font that you are writing is a bit larger, then of course it will move on to 3 or maybe 3 pages, 1 or 2 lines, it may cross over to like that. Or on the other hand, if your handwriting font is smaller or on the smaller side, then it will cover around about say 2 pages would be enough for you. So it depends according to handwriting, but it is better to stay within that 400 word limit. Now another way of calculating it is how many lines you are writing and how many words on an average you are writing on each line. So on each line, suppose you write on an average of 8 words. Suppose 8 words per line of each of the page. Each line you are writing 8 words. So that means you can write a maximum of 50. 50 lines would be your maximum. On an average you will come to 400. But 400 is the limit. It doesn't mean that you have to write 400. You can stop at 350, 55, 60, 70. So I would say you prefer a limit of 370 to 75, 80. That would be your better for you, because it will leave you a buffer of 20-25 words. So in case you expand, you have that allowance of 20 to 25 words for you. So that covers, I think, your word limit as far as 400 words is concerned. Now in terms of marks, what happens? You may question, can I get 20? Now if it is an exceptional essay, you will get 19. If it is an exceptional essay, you will get 19. That's there. Now there's a process for it. Generally, what happens if it is an exceptional essay, the teachers give the examiners, I'm talking of ICSE exam, 17 to 18, and then on it's analyzed, it's evaluated. The head examiner or the head examiner is present in that room. That essay is taken by the teacher. That look, I have given 17, 18. You go through it, and if you feel it deserves this much, then it's okay. If you want, you can add more. If you want, you can cut down a few marks. So that way you can be rest assured of getting 17, 18, 19. That would be the maximum in terms of getting marks in ICSE. Now I'm talking of ICSE, I'm not talking of schools, mind you. All this what I am saying is for ICSE students, the board exams we are talking of here, where you get a certain number of marks depending on your coverage. Okay, so now as I was saying, the marks it covers around about say 16, 17, 18, 19 is the max. Exceptional essay without any grammatical mistake, without any spelling mistakes, nothing to be corrected, that kind of an essay along with its content, the way it is written and all that, only then can you get 17, 18 or 19 accordingly in the ICSE exams. Okay, So that's regarding the marks. Now category wise, I think you know descriptive, wherein you describe, you are asked to describe topics. Here will be like say describe a noisy Indian market. That would be a descriptive. So that kind of description. Describe the scene of an examination hall. So that's the description one. Moving on to narrative. Now narrative is where you have to narrate an experience. Narrate an experience when you were all alone at home at night and the lights went out. Narrate an incident when you were lost in the woods or in the fair. So like that, that is a narrative one. Imaginative is somewhat similar to it. Imaginative wherein you are asked to imagine. Imagine you were a bird and you could fly. Name the 3 things that you would definitely do if you were there. Or imagine you were a robot. Imagine you were sent to a different planet, etc., etc. Such kind of imaginative things. So that comes the imaginative category. Argumentative, other name for it is debative, wherein you debate for against. That is the argumentative or debative topic of the section of the essay. Which to attempt, what to attempt, I'll come to that later on. First let me say story writing. Now herein you are given sometimes a line. Sometimes a line like it was dark, I entered the room and then suddenly ... Or you are given a line to end with, like the last line would be, after this incident I stopped telling lies forever. So that would be the ending line. So similarly, you are given such things, or you are given a theme on which to write a story, or you are given some characters, write a original story in which an old man and a boat and a dog play an important role. So like this, you are either given an outline, either you are given an opening sentence, or you are given an ending sentence, or you are given a theme. Write an original story in which the theme honesty is always rewarded is highlighted. So you are given a theme. So like this, story writing. Picture composition. Here you know this is the last part of your question 1E, wherein you are given a picture and you are told to write a story or a narrative based closely to it, either based totally on it or based very close to it. Whichever way you want, you can write it. Okay. So that covers this section E. So these are your 5 sections wherein you are told to what to write, when to write and all. I will discuss gradually as I go through some of the points which I am going to tell you. And mind you, I am going to tell you whatever I am saying, it's better that you take down notes of it. Why? Later on it will help you out. Whenever you don't feel like doing anything, you just go through these points, it will help you in your essay writing. Okay, so it's better that you do that. First point, don't write boring composition, make it interesting and originality. Now, do not write boring compositions. Boring composition means you write a similar kind of an essay which many other students have written. That is boring. Not in the sense that you have written something wrong, but the fact is there is nothing interesting in your essay which makes it different from the others. Understood? So, do not write such boring essay which is very similar to what your friend has written or some other boys and girls have written. So, that is very similar. So, the teacher has already read such an essay. So, she has given maybe 12 or 13 in that essay. She reads, oh, this is very much like that essay. So, there is nothing new here. Again, 12, 13, that's it. You get. So, make it interesting. How? We will gradually learn. You will gradually come to know. For that, the most important thing is originality. It should be original. It should be unique. It should be different from the others. Therein, this essay will become quite different from the other essays. Understood? So, therein comes in the originality of the essay. Next, enough matter and make sharp points. Now, you should have enough material at your in your stock to continue with your writings. Now, if you have very few selective points, like say if you are a very poor kind of a writer, having only 2 or 3 points to write your essay, that makes it very difficult. Why? Because you are left with only 2 or 3 points with which you have to cover these 400 words. Now that's very difficult. But on the other hand, if you are a rich writer having a lot of points, say about 8 to 10, then you have a lot of points to reveal. You have a lot of ammunition as if to fight this battle. So that is why enough matter and make sharp points. Sharp points mean points which are very precise, points which are related to the topic. That is why sharp points. Points which will hit the topic. It's not that they will be circling around the topic. No, it's not that. It should be topics which will hit the target, hit the essay topic that is given. Okay. Next is choice of essay. Now choice of essay is very important and adjusted according to one's own personality. Now this is very important. Why? Because everyone has their own unique way of writing. Everyone has their own unique way of writing. You prefer writing narrative essays. Your friend prefers writing debative essays. Your other friend prefers writing stories. Do not try to copy each other. Just because your friend gets maybe 17 and you get only 12 in your essay doesn't mean you will copy his style of writing. No. You are comfortable in your style of writing. Concentrate on that. At the most develop one more style or one more trend. Like suppose you are writing narrative essays, you start thinking of writing descriptive also. So that way what will happen, you will have two strands in which to play with, either this or that, whichever you feel comfortable in the examination you can choose. But do not write the debative just because your friend is writing and getting more marks. No, don't do that. Okay, so this is what is being said, that when you choose your essay, because in the examination hall it's only you and your examination paper. It's only you and your examination paper. No one is there. The teacher is not going to be there. Your tutor or your parents or no one is going to be there to tell you to choose which essay to write. You are going to make the choice. So you have to be very careful in making the choice. Choose the essay which you think is more comfortable for you. Doesn't matter if this is a very common topic which everyone is going to write. Because if we go back to the first point, originality, your originality will make your essay different from the others, although it is a common topic. Suppose, for example, a busy market scene. Everyone is writing the busy market scene. If your writing is better, if your writing is more... So now that you are writing the busy market scene will have your unique characteristics. And that is what will make it different from the essays of the others. So that's how your essay will be different, although it is a very common topic which everyone has written. Next is choice of essay. Choose one and be clear in mind about the topic. You should have a clear focus about that topic. Whichever topic you are choosing, you should not have any kind of doubts in your mind. I may or may not be able to know. When you are choosing a topic, have it clear in your mind that I am going to attempt this one. This is the topic that I am going to attempt. Okay. Next, original story. Now, many of you ask what is an original story. In the story writing, it is written original story. What it is? Now, original story means an original plot. Plot which is not copied from any film, any book, any web series, any TV serial or anywhere. It is not copied from there. It is something which is original. Now you will say, sir, how will I write? I'm not a story writer, I'm not a script writer, I do not have so many plots in my mind. Okay, doesn't matter. If you have the habit of reading and you have read a lot and you know different stories, take the theme, the essence of the story, the theme of the story and put it in a different context so that that theme is highlighted. Okay, mind you, just for a simple example, the story of the hare and the tortoise. It is set in the animal world. Okay, what is the theme? Slow and steady win the race. Okay, slow and steady wins the race. Now we take that theme of slow and steady wins the race and put it in the human world. Put it in the human world. The characters are human. And somehow due to some other incidents, you plot out the incidents and through that incident the story progresses and gradually that theme of slow and steady win the race is highlighted. So that's how to write an original story. You can give names to the characters, you can have a lot of things, you can write a direct speech, you can have descriptions and all that. So that will make your essay different. The plot will be different, the characters will be different, everything, only the theme will be the same. Only the theme will be the same. That's the only thing that will be copied, otherwise everything will be original. Okay, so that's how to write an original story. simply. Moving on to the debative, argumentative. One important mistake is when you are told to write about an argumentative essay, either write totally for or write totally against. First to last, you should write either for or against. First, introduction will contain a basic introduction of the topic. After that, you go on writing one after the other about the for or against part. Like internet, good or bad, you either go on writing the good parts or you go on writing the bad parts. Do not make a combination of both. Like you start the essay with against, and towards the end, although it is bad, yet internet has its positive uses and all, and then you write something, a few points of positive and you end. Wrong. Do not do that. Do not do that. From first to last, it should be negative if you are against the topic. Or if you are for the topic, first to last, you should support and be in favor of that topic. That's how you write the debative essay. Next point we move on to is introduction. Now, introduction of the essay will be very short, round about 2 to 3 lines. That would be enough to cover the introduction part of the essay. Not too big an introduction is needed. Introductions generally can have some rhetorical question. It can start with an introduction of a rhetorical question like, who has seen God? It can start with that. It can start with a quotation. If you remember a quotation which is in context with the topic, you can write that quotation. You can start with an incident. You can start with other questions like, who doesn't want to be happy? Every one of us likes to be happy and all, etc. So you can start with such questions. Not that you start with a generalized kind of a statement, not necessary. Okay, next, make medium-sized paragraphs. Now, medium-sized paragraph. The paragraphs now, there in your lower classes, you are accustomed to writing introduction, body, conclusion. Introduction, body, conclusion. This is 3. Now, there's no harm in doing that, but if you want, for the size of emphasis, for the sake of emphasis, you can cut down on the size of the body of your essay of the letter. You can divide this body into 2 or a maximum of 3. 2 or a maximum of 3 paras. So that means in total you will have either 4 or 5 taking the introduction and the conclusion. Okay, so that you can do, but they should be properly made up paragraphs containing the necessary points. That because of this point, this is divided. This point, this is divided, like that. Next is suitable title. Of course, suitable title should definitely be given. Many essays do not have titles. It is not necessary, you will say, to write the title. Where it is written that I have to write the title? No, it's nowhere written. But if you write the title in your essay, whether it is a story, whether it is a letter, whether it is a narrative, argumentative, whichever it is, when you write a title, you add an extra attraction to your essay. And moreover, if it is a story, if you write like you have in your icse syllabus like Blue Bead, Hearts and Hands, Face in the Dark, like this, or you can write in your debative essay, internet, good, bad, question marks. So that would be topic headings which will be attractive. Okay, so it's definitely necessary that you write a heading, although or a title which is not asked in the question, mind you. It's not asked in the question, but if you write it, it will add emphasis to your writing, definitely. Next is spelling mistakes, grammar mistakes, all this, proper handwriting, these have to be followed definitely. You definitely have to have good handwriting. You definitely must avoid spelling mistakes and grammatical mistakes. Of course, you cannot do that. Moving on to the next point, which is description. Now, descriptive essays. Descriptive essays, you need to give a few line descriptions of a person or the place. Okay, the Himalayan foothills were covered with snow, which stretched out like a white blanket covering the plains. So herein in one sentence you are describing the scenery. Okay, the tall man with the ragged long coat and rough black boots advanced towards me. So you give a description of that person. Okay, so in this way, in your descriptive, in your essay, descriptive essay, in your story writing, narrative writing, anywhere, you can put in these details of the person. Particularly in case of descriptive, it is a very essential, because in descriptive you are only describing. So there, it is very necessary, very much essential that you add in some descriptive lines for your essay. Direct speech in story I have told earlier. And this direct speech, what it will do is, within inverted commas, when you put in a speech, it adds extra flavor to that story. Okay, a few dialogues here and there. It's not necessary that you go on line by line. It's not necessary. But a few dialogues, a few speeches of indirect speech will definitely add more extra flavor to the story in particular, story writing. Particularly keep in mind, it will add extra emphasis to your story writing. Next, 3 lines introduction I had told. Deviate from the topic. Now many of you often I find deviate from the topic. Now what is deviate from the topic? You are writing in a particular track about a particular essay that you are writing. Suddenly you move along in a different direction. Like you are writing about, suppose, sports, and you write football, I like football, etc. Then you suddenly move on. In India, football is not given much importance. People give much importance to cricket and all. That is why all the youngsters, they want to be cricket players rather than becoming football. So you are moving away from your point. You are digressing. You are deviating from the topic. That should not happen. Definitely do not do that. If you write more, what happens? One more point. If you write more than the word limit, if you write more than the word limit, it means that you have failed to fulfill all the points that are needed within those lines of 400 or word limit of 400. That is why your extra writing will fail to impress the examiner. Okay, it will fail to impress the examiner. Next point, in case of argumentative essays, how many points to write? One more question I find. These are actually points which I have found among many questions which are asked to me by students. I have put them all together. They are not in an arranged manner, mind you, but still going through them one by one. Argumentative essay, how many points to write? So I do not know. 5 to 6 is enough. Okay, 5 to 6. If you do not have 6, okay, 5 is enough. 5 proper cogent point, 5 proper specific points are necessary. Okay, it should number 1 should not follow number 4. That is, point number 1 and point number 4 are very much the same. No, it cannot be like that. 5 different specific points they have to be. 5 different and specific points they have to be. Next, story. One important mistake. Do not end your story with a dream ending. I do not want, or no teacher wants, or no examiner wants you to end with a dream ending. Do not do that except for an imaginative essay. Only in imaginative essay you can have a dream ending, because there it is an imaginative one. You are said to be landing in an alien planet. So that story cannot end, can end, but it's better that you can use a dream ending for that. You can use for that. But you can end it normally also. But here, except for such imaginative cases, do not use dream ending, and it's better to end in a normal way, just like we end stories. You try to find a proper ending for that, and at the most you can have an open-ended ending, like you are facing the dark, where there is an open-ended story. So you can end like that. You can end with a rhetorical question. I don't know what is going to happen next, question mark. You end there. So that way it leaves the story open-ended. So that way you can end, but do not end unless and until it is an imaginative one with a dream ending. Next, time. How much time so we should devote? It should be ideally 25 minutes. That leaves you with 4 to 5 minutes of revision time. 4 to 5 minutes of revision time you will get if you finish in 25 minutes. Otherwise, you have to take out 1 or 2 minutes from other writings or other parts of your English 1 to revise your essay. Because the revision time